Your brain is wired to keep you poor. I'm not being dramatic. There are instincts built into your head over hundreds of thousands of years that are working against your bank account right now. Today, the reason you overspend, the reason you don't invest, the reason treat yourself always seems to win. It's not weakness, it's wiring, and once you can see it, you can beat it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 4 ways your own brain sabotages your money and exactly how to shut each one down. You're going to recognize every single one. So let's meet the caveman running your finances. For almost all of human history, the smart move was simple. Eat now because later might never come. Want whatever the tribe has so you don't get left behind. Avoid any loss because losing could kill you, and don't bother saving. The future is a coin flip anyway. That brain was a genius. It kept your ancestors alive. Hand that same brain a credit card, and it becomes a disaster. Let me show you how. 4 ways. Number 1, your brain is obsessed with right now. Picture your ancestor. He finds food. Does he save half for next week? No, he eats it now. Because next week isn't promised and food left lying around rots or gets stolen. Now was the only smart bet. That instinct is still running. And it's why $50 in your hand right now feels more real, more powerful than $500 in the future. Your future self, your brain barely believes that guy exists. He's blurry. He's not real. So of course you buy the thing today instead of investing for him. Investing is a gift to a stranger your brain doesn't think is real. This is why saving feels like a chore and spending feels like a reward. You're not weak. Your brain is just wired to grab the now. So how do you beat it? You don't. Not with willpower. You will lose that fight every time. Instead, you take yourself out of the fight completely. You automate the good decision. Set your investing to happen the second you get paid before you ever see the money. That way now, you never gets to vote. The money's already gone to your future before your caveman brain can grab it. You can't out-discipline this one. So you out-design it. Remember that. It's the fix for almost everything here. Number 2, losing hurts twice as much as winning feels good. Back in survival times, losing was deadly. Lose your food, you might not make it. Gaining a little extra was nice, but losing what you had could end you. So your brain learned to fear loss way more than it loves gain. Scientists have actually measured this. Losing $100 hurts you about twice as much as winning $100 feels good. Twice as much. For the same amount of money, and that one glitch wrecks people financially. 3 ways. 1, you're scared to invest at all because the market might dip, and a dip feels like a wound. So you keep everything in cash where the number never drops. 2, when you do invest and something goes down, you panic and sell at the worst possible time, locking in the loss, because watching it drop is unbearable. And 3, the sneaky one, you let money sit still in a savings account for years, feeling safe, feeling responsible. But here's what your brain can't see. Money sitting still isn't safe, it's losing. Every year prices go up, that's inflation, and the money in your account buys a little less than it did the year before. Quietly, slowly, it's a loss. Your brain just can't feel it because the number on the screen doesn't drop. So you avoid the scary loss you can see by accepting the slow loss you can't. The fix? Rename the real risk. Doing nothing is not the safe choice. Doing nothing is the slow loss. Once you see that sitting in cash is its own kind of losing, investing stops feeling reckless and starts feeling like the responsible thing it actually is. You're not choosing risk versus safety. You're choosing which risk. Choose the one that pays you. Number 3, you spend money to impress people who aren't even watching. For your ancestors, your rank in the tribe was life or death. High status meant food, safety, protection. Low status meant you could get left behind or cast out. So your brain is desperate to signal, I'm doing well, I belong up here. Today, that instinct reaches for your wallet, the new car in the driveway, the logo on the bag, the watch, the upgrade. Most of it isn't for you. It's a signal. It's your caveman brain shouting to the tribe, look how well I'm doing. And here's the punchline. The tribe isn't even watching. Everyone else is too busy signaling to their tribe to notice yours. Remember Mike from a couple videos back? The guy who bought all the nice stuff and ended up broke? This is the instinct that made him do it. He wasn't buying a car. He was buying status, and it cost him a fortune. So here's the fix, and it's the most important sentence on this channel. Learn to tell the difference between looking rich and being rich. Looking rich costs you money. Those are liabilities. Remember, stuff that drains your pocket every month. Being rich is quiet. It's a growing pile nobody sees. Before you buy something flashy, just ask yourself one honest question. Am I buying this for me? Or for an audience that isn't even paying attention? The wealthiest people often look the most boring. That's not an accident. They stopped playing the status game and started winning the money game. Number 4, you treat free money like it doesn't count. Last one. When your ancestor got lucky and found a windfall, a whole tree full of fruit, a hunt that went perfectly, the move was to consume it. Feast, because you couldn't exactly put berries in a savings account. So your brain has a special rule for money that shows up unexpectedly. A tax refund, a bonus, a gift, some cash you didn't plan on. Your brain files it under fun money, doesn't count, and you blow it. It makes no sense if you think about it. A dollar is a dollar. A dollar from your paycheck and a dollar from a tax refund spend exactly the same. But your brain treats them totally differently. One you guard, one you waste. This is why bonuses vanish, why refunds disappear, why found money never seems to make anyone richer. The fix is simple. Every dollar is the same dollar. When a windfall shows up, don't treat it like a party. Treat it like a raise. Send it down the same path as your regular money. Buffer, debt, investments. Remember that order from last video? A bonus goes down the exact same waterfall. Give your windfalls a job, not a party. That's how a lucky break actually turns into wealth, instead of just a fun weekend you can't remember. Okay, so there they are. The 4 ways your brain fights you. It grabs the now. It fears loss so much, it accepts a slower loss instead. It spends to impress a tribe that isn't looking. And it wastes free money like it doesn't count. And here's what I really want you to see. Look at how you beat every single one of them. You didn't beat them with willpower, you beat them by changing the system. You automated the good choice, so now you couldn't sabotage it. You renamed the real risk so you could see clearly. You asked who you were really buying for. You gave every dollar a job. That's the whole secret. The people who build wealth aren't stronger than you. They didn't win some willpower lottery. They just stopped trying to fight their caveman brain head on and started outsmarting it. You can't delete these instincts. They're built in. They kept your ancestors alive, and honestly, you wouldn't be here without them. But you can outdesign them, automate the good decision, remove the bad one, and make your money move before your caveman brain gets a vote. Do that, and for the first time, your brain stops working against your bank account and starts working with it. And really, that's the whole idea behind this channel. Not just spend less or try harder, but understanding why money works the way it does and why you do the things you do, and then building simple systems that beat it. If that's the kind of money content you're into, the kind that actually makes you understand something instead of just nodding along, then stick around. There's a lot more where this came from. I'll see you in the next one.